Hi there, good evening and welcome. The fact that you're watching News Sunday shows how seriously you take what's happening in and around you and the country. So let's try and make the best 1 hour of the day for you. Friends, I was taken aback early in the morning while watching a clip of Farooq Abdullah, former Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, in which he can be heard alleging that Indian Defence Forces and terrorists have worked together to destroy Kashmir. His exact words were, हमारी बर्बादी के लिए ये सब मिले हुए हैं. I thought he was trying to say something else, but I was wrong. When given an opportunity to clarify in the evening, Abdullah stuck to his guns, saying what's wrong with what he said in the morning. Not the first time Farooq Abdullah has put his head in the till. In a way, he seems to love raking muck on Kashmir. With such legacy, one would have expected better. But he fails us every time. Why? One wonders. We'll try to understand that. Also, second debate, civic mess continues to claim lives in the national capital. Is anyone in charge of Delhi? A 13-year-old lost his life to electrocution while playing cricket in the morning. Is it that dangerous to be young in Delhi and aspiring? Why should playing cricket be equal to playing with life? That at 9:30 p.m. Let me get you the headlines first of the day.
Presenting by Royal Global University. Northeast can't wait. पढ़ो कुछ बनो.
मुझे हैरानी है कि कंट्रोवर्शियल स्टेटमेंट किसने किया है. क्या है कंट्रोवर्शियल इसमें?
Farooq Abdullah doubts integrity of our forces, says army and terrorists hand in gloves. Remains defiant when questioned. Yet another shocking civic apathy in national capital. 13-year-old electrocuted to death. Bulldozer rolls on the Goshala. After shocking apathy claims life of 13-year-old, FIR registered against a cricket academy owner and the Goshala owner who had taken that illegal encroach connection. Uproar over Kolkata trainee Dr. Abaya's death. Hospital staff continues to hit the streets for second day. Days after her ouster, Sheikh Hasina makes a big claim, claims United States' role in the unrest that led to her leaving the government. Adani Group refutes Hindenburg's latest allegations, calls it malicious and manipulative. SEBI boss also denies claims.
Presenting by Royal Global University. Northeast can't wait. पढ़ो कुछ बनो.
At a time when our brave Jawans are risking their lives to safeguard our nation, their sacrifices have been met with political controversy. As our forces intensify their operations in Kokarnak today, Farooq Abdullah's shocking comments have ignited a storm of criticism. Crossing the line again, the National Conference chief alleged that our forces are colluding with the terrorists. And when he could clarify, he did not. Farooq remained defiant and asked, what's controversial? Here's the story. Listen into exactly what he said and repeated. Then I come back with a panel of guests.
Our forces are going all out to avenge the martyrdom of our two brave Jawans who lost their lives in the line of duty in the Kokarnak operation. But Farooq Abdullah has crossed the line once again.
इतनी फौज है हमारे बॉर्डर पर. मैं समझता किसी भी मुल्क में ऐसी इतनी फौज नहीं. फिर ये लोग कैसे आ रहे हैं? ये दवाइयाँ कैसे आ रही हैं? मिले हुए हैं. हमारी बर्बादी के लिए मिले हुए हैं.
He remains unapologetic and defiant despite the backlash.
मुझे हैरानी है कि कंट्रोवर्शियल स्टेटमेंट किसने किया है. क्या है कंट्रोवर्शियल इसमें? सवाल इस बात का है, ये जो दवाइयाँ आती हैं कहाँ से आ रही हैं? ये जो आज मिलिटेंट्स, मैं समझता हूँ ये करीबन 200-300 से कम नहीं होंगे. कैसे आए? कहाँ से आए?
आसमान से तो नहीं गिरे।
The BJP has hit out, calling the shameful politics over our forces.
1947 से लेकर के आज तक जो इनके पिता दादा ने सब कुछ किया है, ये उसी का परिणाम है कि इस प्रकार की हालत यहाँ पर बना के रखी है। सत्ता में रह चुकी हैं, भारत के संविधान की कसम खा चुकी हैं, लेकिन जब ये सत्ता से बाहर होते हैं तो इस प्रकार की बातें करते हैं। आज भी इनका दिल हिंदुस्तान के लिए नहीं, पाकिस्तान के लिए धड़कता है।
As the forces wage an all-out war on terrorists in the valley, the need of the hour is for our netas to stand with them and not doubt their service to the nation.
All right, I wish there was somebody from the National Conference, but there is none. But we'll still have this conversation. Joining me, Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson of the BJP. She's joining us live from Delhi tonight. We also have Sushil Pandit, Kashmiri activist. He's, of course, live from Delhi. Vivek Srivastav, and he's a political analyst, leans towards the left. And I would want to begin with Ahmed Ayaz. He's a political analyst, live from Jammu tonight. Ahmed Ayaz, what's wrong with Farooq Abdullah? No, not the first time, but this is really preposterous that he should be saying what he said. It is because of the Indian army that each and every Kashmiri is safe. And for Farooq Abdullah to say that the army is colluding with the armed forces, with the terrorists, I think he's taking it too far. Ahmed Ayaz.
Absolutely, Abhishek. I wish if I could agree with the statement of the Farooq Abdullah. See, question is the one loves the life, whoever it is, one loves the life. And we see every now and then the security forces too losing their lives, the army jawans and the army officers also losing their life. Had there been a collusion, possibly this would not have happened. And also, there is not possibility of collusion also. Because they are combating, well, we can say there are all lapses, there are intelligence failures, there are not many things that can be said. But to say that, I'm sorry, I won't agree with Farooq Abdullah on this, that there is a collusion. Because there have been, see, there are, very, very aggressive operations have taken place in Kashmir while combating the militancy with the army and the security forces. To say that they are in collusion, I don't think that's true. There may be a lapse in combating somewhere. There may be a lapse in or a failure in intelligence that, of course, is there, because there is a reason to say that how is all this happening? If at all these are crossing the militants or crossing over the border, how are they crossing over? And then if they are shifting from Srinagar to Jammu, Kashmir to Jammu, how are it's all happening? Well, there are obviously there are failures which one can say about. But to say that they are in the collusion, I don't think, because it's a matter of life. We see people losing their life. To say that they are in the collusion, I don't think that's fair enough to call it a collusion.
Vivek Srivastav, would you be able to defend Farooq Abdullah tonight? Because he seems to be very dishonest with the kind of comment he has made. He's saying what's wrong in it. Because if 200, 300 terrorists have come in, the central government is taking care of the security. The army is there. They should be responding. And if they are letting these people come, then either there is a lapse or they are in collusion.
Yes,
you think Vivek Srivastav, you would agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
You agree with that? You agree with that Indian army is colluding with the terrorists and letting them come in?
No. It doesn't mean that the Indian army is colluding. It is just that, I want to know that, you have to first understand who's Farooq Abdullah. Farooq Abdullah is a hardcore nationalist. Much to my disliking, he's a hardcore nationalist.
Oh,
he's the man who Ram Mandir banaiye. I'll be the first one ki pehli eat meri taraf se jayegi. He is a man who went into the parliament, much to my disliking. I said, Bharat Mata ki jai, Vande Mataram hum zarur bolenge, and he even recited it and sang about it. He is the man who joined the BJP, Atal Bihari Vajpayee's government, and was a minister. So first of all, you need to understand that we are not talking to somebody who's a terrorist or but we are talking to somebody who's a mainstream politician and has been on various positions with various parties in this country. And we can say that he's a nationalist. Now the second part is, what he's basically trying to say is, he's trying to simply say, aapne 370 hata diya, aapne halla machaya, you said, bhai, things are going to be normalized, terrorism problem is going to be sorted out forever, but still our Jawans are dying. Still people are being affected. Still the government has got a nuisance value. So how is it happening? how are the terrorists actually entering the country? I mean, I would extend it to saying that how are the drugs entering this country? You have them in Punjab, you have them in Bollywood, you have them across the nation.
Vivek
Youngsters-
Srivastava, I wish it was that simple, but it is not, because Farooq Abdullah is also being economical with truth. But I would because there is a charge made by Farooq Abdullah against the center and you are seconding it, I would let Sanju Verma respond to it before I go to Sushil Pandit. Sanju Verma, it is your government in power in Delhi, and if national security is with you, since you are in power, ultimately Farooq Abdullah is suggesting that you have to respond. How come these 200, 300 terrorists have come in across the border, whether from Jammu and Kashmir or from Rajasthan or from Punjab or from Gujarat? That's what he said.
You know, Abhishek, I've come to believe that the debilitated opposition, each time it runs out of narratives to nail the Modi government, it props up a new narrative, it props up a new toolkit. और आज toolkit का सबसे बड़ा हिस्सा फारूक अब्दुल्ला है. You know, and I'll tell you why Farooq Abdullah is a man with a separatist mindset. Somebody here on the panel said, if Farooq Abdullah is a great patriot, he's a great nationalist. Please understand one thing. Last year, Justice Chandrachud, and I'm talking about the Chief Justice of India, CJI Chandrachud, called out the bluff of the likes of Farooq Abdullah, called out the bluff of the likes of his son Omar Abdullah, called out the bluff of the likes of Yasin Malik and company, called out the bluff of the likes of Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi, Jairam Ramesh and their entire cabal, by saying, because all these guys said that Article 370 abrogation is illegal. They said Article 370 should be restored. And CJI Chandrachud said Article 370 was always meant to be a temporary provision. Then Justice Chandrachud said that the moment Maharaja Hari Singh many decades back signed the instrument of accession, Jammu and Kashmir surrendered whatever element of sovereignty it had and became an integral part of India, and nobody has any bona fides to question that. And further, CJI Chandrachud also said that then President Ramnath Kovind was well within his rights to use clause 3 to abrogate Article 370, and nobody can question Ramnath Kovind, our ex-president's rights to abrogate Article 370, which happened on the 5th of August 2019. And don't forget that on the 5th of August 2024, a few days back, this entire cabal of Abdullahs and Gandhis and Jairam Rameshes of the world, they celebrated Black Day.
Yes.
So abrogation of Article 370 is an attack on Indian democracy, despite CJI Chandrachud clearly showing them the mirror. So, pehli baat to ye, by repeatedly giving intellectual cover fire to those people who claim that Article 370 abrogation was illegal, the likes of Farooq Abdullah are not portraying themselves in flattering light. Point number 2, Farooq Abdullah, do you remember? On the 13th of October 2020, there was a shameful statement made barely 3.5-4 years back by Farooq Abdullah. And I'm quoting his statement ad verbatim. By the grace of Allah and by the help of China, we will be able to hopefully in the coming years restore Article 370.
Shame,
by the
shame.
grace of Allah to samajh mein aata hai. What do you mean by the help of China? Was Farooq Abdullah indirectly hinting at the balkanization?
Vivek Srivastava, your nationalist Farooq Abdullah wants the help of China.
India's internal affairs.
Yeah, okay. Vivek Srivastava, your nationalist.
In last 10 seconds.
Okay, quickly,
Can I finish in 10 seconds?
quickly, Sanju.
Thank you. The last point is this. Barely a few weeks back, I remember there was a ghastly attack, a terror attack in the Rajouri-Poonch region of Jammu Kashmir. And I remember some of our bravehearts, they lost their lives. Farooq Abdullah, Omar Abdullah, इन्होंने कुछ नहीं कहा. इनके मुंह में फेविकॉल दही जम गया.
Yes.
And Charanjit Singh Channi, the former Chief Minister of Punjab and a close confidant of Priyanka Vadra said, ये जो लोग मरे हैं ना रजौरी में, पूंछ में, ये सब ड्रामेबाजी है, ये स्टंटबाजी है. Where was Farooq Abdullah then? Did you castigate Charanjit Singh Channi? No.
Okay, Sanju, you got your opening comments. Let me take you to Sushil Pandit. Sushil Pandit, this is a valid point. You see, when Sanju says muh mein dahi jam gaya, when these terror attacks happen, you know, there is always a certain spin with which the Abdullahs or the Muftis speak. that, oh, what are our forces doing? What is our national security grid? And, how come these people are coming in? Like today also, Sushil Pandit. Farooq Abdullah is asking, ये दवाइयाँ आती कहाँ से हैं? For a moment I thought that is he talking about the medicines that these terrorists carry, from those Lahore pharmacies? ये दवाइयाँ कहाँ से आती हैं? He is talking about drugs. And who's supplying these drugs? The Pakistani deep state. No word on Pakistani deep state by Farooq Abdullah. He says, what are our security forces doing if these 200, 300 people are coming? For God's sake, at least once mention from where these 200, 300 terrorists are coming. He would not do that. Sushil Pandit.
Yes. Thank you, Abhishek, and good evening to everyone and your viewers too. You see, if we extend this logic, this line of thinking that Farooq Abdullah has offered, you can extend it to by saying that George Bush colluded with Osama bin Laden for the blast of Twin Towers in New York. CIA colluded with Al-Qaeda in order to get this executed. You could then extend it by saying that Yahya Sinwar colluded with Netanyahu to have 6th of July attacks by Hamas. Because otherwise, why would they happen?
Yeah.
This is the sickness. And this doesn't run just up to Farooq Abdullah. His brother, Mustafa Kamal, both are doctors, incidentally, a few years back suggested that it was Indian Army engineering blasts. These are false flag operations in Kashmir conducted by our own army, our own security forces. It runs in the party also.
So they are not going to name Pakistan.
Akbar Lone, why would they name Pakistan? Akbar Lone was their MLA and speaker in the assembly. He screamed Pakistan Zindabad on the floor.
No, Vivek Srivastava, what are you saying? Are you saying we should not be naming Pakistan?
Ask Sushil Pandit to tell me
he was rewarded.
How do the drugs enter Bollywood?
Was rewarded with the ticket of Baramulla.
How does it
campaign in Baramulla by
hold on. Vivek Srivastava, one by one. Vivek Srivastava, hold on. Let Sushil Pandit complete. I'll come to you. Sushil Pandit.
He's in the habit of interrupting me because he can't digest the truths that I share. It runs in the party.
Okay. Vivek, I'll come to you. Vivek, pull back. I'll come to you. Vivek, pull back. I'll come to you. Sushil Pandit, please come to you.
Diarrhea, verbal diarrhea the moment I start speaking.
No, I don't.
When Akbar Lone screamed Pakistan Zindabad on the floor of assembly, he was rewarded with the ticket of Lok Sabha. And he started his campaign rally with Pakistan Zindabad in Baramulla 2019. So it is the leader, it is the leader's brother, leader's son, and leader's cronies, lackeys in the party who are in the grip of this Pakistan, love for Pakistan and love for jihad. They pretend to be nationalists. They berate our forces.
I would like to answer this.
Every opportunity given. I'll tell you, both father and son, former chief ministers, were in Srinagar when 40 CRPF soldiers were martyred. None of them showed up even for a lip sympathy, just to place a flower on the 40 coffins in Pulwama. None showed up. This is how much they love our security forces and this nation. And these security forces protect them.
Yeah.
They give them protection, taking bullets on themselves. When Jammu Kashmir police was offered to them, they said, no, we want Indian Army to protect us.
We are not supposed to question
no
corruption in the
opportunity
system.
of berating Indian Army, berating security forces,
there are no drugs in
and
India.
accusing them of
We are
collusion
supposed
with
to
jihad.
say terrorist
There is an
attacks don't
adage
happen.
in English.
We are
I must share
supposed
with
to
you,
say
Abhishek.
that there are no
The adage
infiltrators.
goes,
Okay. Structure this.
Those
Vivek. Structure this,
those
Vivek.
who scream the loudest
Vivek, hold on.
accuse the
Sushil
others
Pandit,
of.
let me take this forward.
Listen to me very carefully.
Sushil Pandit, let me take this forward. You see, okay, Sushil Pandit, let me take this forward. Vivek Srivastava, Sanju Verma said and quoted Farooq Abdullah from 2020 when he suggested that with the help of China, we will do something, politically solve Kashmir. Huh?
Yes.
Sushil Pandit gave you specific examples of why you can't consider the Abdullahs to be nationalists.
Yes.
Right?
So,
and you are still continuing to defend them.
Yes. I will continue to defend them. If Sanju Verma wants to say that Atal Bihari Vajpayee was foolish to make him the minister, he was foolish to call him to 7 RCR, foolish to have a great friendship with him, it's okay. That is her take on it. I don't have anything to say about it. all I want to say
But
is,
why demoralize our armed forces, for God's sake?
No, sir, listen to me, sir. आपके देश में ड्रग्स आ रहे हैं, मिस्टर पंडित, आप लेके आते हैं।
अरे पर एक बार तो बोलो, पाकिस्तान से आ रहे हैं।
कहाँ से आता है सर? Where is it coming from? It is coming from the borders.
हमारे देश की
You have people in this country who are actually helping get drugs into the nation.
No, you see,
And terrorists.
Vivek Srivastava.
And who are these people?
Vivek Srivastava, listen.
Make my rebuttal.
Yes, you will get an opportunity, Sanju. Vivek Srivastava, listen. You see, drugs are coming, not just into Kashmir, but many parts of the country. The point is, in the case of Kashmir,
फौज ला रही
How are
है,
they coming?
हमारी फौज ला रही है,
Who is getting it?
करनी चाहिए।
फौज ला रही है क्या?
What nonsense is this?
No, you want to question the narcotics control bureau or not?
How can you allow this
Mr.
man to
Kashmir Pandit, do you want to question
no.
the narcotics control bureau or not? You want to question the court of attorney?
Vivek Srivastava, don't indulge in. Okay, no, Vivek Srivastava, don't indulge in this incendiary tactic.
No, there are no drugs in India.
Okay, fine, drugs are coming. Are you suggesting, Vivek Srivastava, that it is because the Indian army is facilitating that?
There are bad elements on the border, no doubt about it, who are letting the drugs, the arms, the terrorists fight.
How dare you say that our armed forces are involved in narcotics trade? You should be ashamed of yourself.
It could be
Do you
what?
remember
We need to
Pinay
find out.
region?
You cannot give a clean
the chief
and
minister
you
of
cannot wish
Kerala.
away.
His
कि हमारे
closest
देश में drugs भी नहीं है।
Vivek, no, I will not allow this. Vivek, pull back. Vivek, pull back. Vivek, pull back.
His closest confidant is involved in the gold stamp. So shut up and do not lecture our.
Okay, now the point is, listen, Sanju, okay, Vivek, pull back.
Like you.
Okay, so Sanju, listen. You see, this is not fair. This is not fair.
Vivek Srivastava and question him on evidence.
Can I please
Question him on
you are
evidence.
giving a free run to
Investigate him.
He is not speaking, Sanju. He is not speaking. Vivek Srivastava, listen, let me intervene. Let me just take this forward. Vivek Srivastava, this is absolutely incendiary, what you are suggesting. See, you can question why drugs are coming into the country. And obviously, as a representative of the BJP, Sanju Verma would respond. But to gaslight that the armed forces are to be held responsible is very bad, unfair, and I think this is you should apologize for that. If you suggested that, you should apologize for that, Vivek Srivastava.
There are bad elements everywhere.
To apologize
So
or ask him to
who's
leave your
responsible
show?
for the border
That's the least
security?
you can do.
How are the terrorists coming in?
man is sitting
I mean,
here on
every day
national
Sushil Pandit
television
saying a
channel
huge cry about
and
Rohingya,
humiliating
huge
our
cry
armed
about
forces,
Bangladeshi
saying India's armed
infiltrators,
forces
Pakistani
are involved
infiltrators,
in drugs
Muslims
and
coming in. Who's
narcotics.
Okay.
And this man is
Who
being
controls
given
the border?
a free run to
Which forces
spew
control the border?
vile
Mr. Pandit?
gibberish on your show,
I can't
Abhishek.
hear.
I fail to understand your
Okay,
compassion.
so Sanju, before I come to you and respond to this very specific question,
Why do you have
that
gaslighter and nincompoop on your show?
no, okay. So before you get to respond, Sanju, I have to get in Ahmad Ayaz also, and Ahmad Ayaz,
You've been getting the other side on your show repeatedly.
But I stopped him, Sanju. I stopped him.
No, you did not stop him. You gave him a free run to spew rubbish on your
can't
show.
hear.
That's
I
what
stopped
you
him,
have done.
Sanju. I stopped him, and he's not speaking now. But
He did
Ahmad
not
Ayaz.
even apologize.
Yes.
I have asked him, but he has to have the courage to do that. Ahmad Ayaz.
So you can ask him to leave your show.
Yes.
Ahmad Ayaz. You see, the point
Yes,
is
tell me.
that despite the Supreme Court verdict making it amply clear that abrogation of Article 370 is an irreversible decision, and agreeing with that, for the Congress party to be organizing Black Day protests on August 5, and for the Abdullahs to say that abrogation of Article 370 was not a watershed moment, I think there is something happening on the ground. Did you think Farooq Abdullah said what he said today because he's jittery? His son has lost the Baramulla election, and Engineer Rashid won from there. So is he doing this because he senses that there is a constituency of this kind of absolutely irresponsible, almost anti-India comment?
No, Mr. Abhishek, see, while we don't agree with the comment regarding this collusion with the security force and the militants, while we don't agree with that, but here also we cannot deny that Farooq Abdullah is not that way. We call him anti-national. He has been a nationalist. It's not that. Well, he has made a comment which is not agreeable, which is not acceptable, but to call him anti-national also is not fair. You see, when the accession was made during Maharaja's time, the point became it was the Kashmir was invaded by the Pakistani tribals. That became a reason for government Kashmir to accede to the India, with the condition that there must not be any infiltration, there must not be any invade from Pakistan. You see, point is, if at all it is still happening, infiltration happening, drugs coming in, other things happening, then a point is raised, a point can be raised. If there is a responsibility lying with the government of India, with the security forces, with the army personnel, well, how are these things happening? A question comes up. You see, there is a question which can be raised, but to say that Farooq Abdullah is international, I think that also is not correct to say.
So what is not anti-national? Do you understand the demoralizing consequences on the forces of the kind of statement Farooq Abdullah has made? I mean, for God's sake, he has been chief minister so many times. So his son has been a union minister. Farooq Abdullah to be making this kind of statement, I think this is absolutely condemnable that he has done. You are, of course, Ahmad Ayaz not agreeing with it. You have the courage to name Pakistan in the context of 1947. Why can't Farooq Abdullah name Pakistan and say that dawaiyan Pakistan se aa rahi hain, aap kuch kariye?
No, well, the question is that he is a politician and he tries to make politics out of any issue. So he who is a politician, he also must be trying to save his vote bank and make it politics. That we can't deny. But at least I would agree to this, because he has been a union minister, he has been a number of times the chief minister. So to call him anti-national or he is against...
Sanju, please. Sanju, let me handle this. Sanju, I'll come to you. Sanju, I'll come.
When are you going to come to...
I will come to you, Sanju. You got your comments. You have been speaking on the debate. Ahmad Ayaz was the last in the second round. Let him complete. I'm coming to you. Okay, Ahmad Ayaz.
So what a point is, see, there are every politician is trying to make his point out of whatever is happening. Everybody is trying to gain over the other. You see, every time it's happening today.
But you're suggesting that he's playing politics, but do you play politics with our defense forces, with the morale of our forces, Ahmad Ayaz? That can't be allowed, of course.
Well, it should not be happening. It should not so happen. But it is with every politician. They try to, gain over it. They try to make a point to see that they play politics. It's happening everywhere. It has been happening. It's always happening in the oppositions. It's always whoever is in the opposition is happening.
Okay, I will. Okay. So Sanju Verma.
Being fair on this debate.
Sanju Verma.
Sanju
Verma, let me moderate, Baba. I know when to give you time, and you get enough time, and you will get enough time. No, I'm engaging with him. You are not letting me also question him. It's my job to question him, right? I am moderating it. I am questioning him, and you're not listening to my questions.
Lecture me, Abhishek Kapoor.
No, I'm not lecturing you. You are unnecessarily disrupting the flow of the conversation. I'm having a reasonable conversation. I am questioning the
armed forces. Do you have the guts to ask Vivek Srivastava to leave your show? No.
No. Why should I ask him to leave the show? I have questioned him. I have asked him to apologize. No, Sanju Verma, this is not fair. This is not fair. This is not fair. If I remove Vivek Srivastava, if I remove Ahmad Ayaz, am I having a one-on-one just with you?
So basically, anyone can come on your show and humiliate our armed forces, but for the sake of TRP...
No, they are not being allowed to humiliate the armed forces. They are being questioned, they are being countered, and you are not listening to it. Your problem is, you are listening to them, you are not listening to me, Sanju Verma. That's the problem. Now my question to you is...
Like Vivek Srivastava, you're mollycoddling them.
I am not mollycoddling them. Sanju Verma, please, for God's sake. Now listen, the question to you is...
I heard you, now let me speak.
The question to you is, can we move forward? Sanju Verma, don't monopolize this conversation. I have 5 minutes left. I have to get others and complete this conversation. Sanju Verma, my question to you as BJP representative is, heads have rolled, which means the government has admitted that there was some lapse that happened because of which all these terrorists could come in from the Jammu side, and they are carrying out these dastardly terror attacks, which of course our brave soldiers, Jawans, and the security forces are dealing with. And I'm sure they would be done with it in the soonest possible time.
It's such a lengthy question.
Of course, it's my show. I would decide how long a question can be, Sanju Verma. Now listen.
This bad habit of asking lengthy questions to BJP, you do not give me time to respond. And then you are being
unnecessary. unnecessarily unfair, Sanju Verma, tonight. I don't know why you are doing this. I don't know why you are doing this.
India elements, you give them a free run and
I would decide how much time to give to our people on the debate. Sanju Verma, are you going to take the question?
Sitting duck.
Are you going to take the question, or are you defensive about it?
I have understood your question, or you need.
No, I have not finished my question.
Don't get defensive with me.
I have not finished my question. It was just one line.
I asked this. Let me tell Ahmad I asked this. You're sitting here.
No, but you have to take my question, not Ahmad Ayaz's question, Sanju Verma. My question is, the fact that heads have rolled is admission by the government that there were some lapses which are getting plugged. No, my question is not complete.
Let me answer.
My question is not complete. My question is not complete, Sanju Verma. My question is not complete. Okay.
Sanju Verma, you are not
going to go on asking questions without giving me time to
My question is not complete, Sanju Verma. You are filibustering maybe because you are defensive. You're showing nerves. You don't know how to handle this question, perhaps.
I don't care two hoots about your bloated ego.
No, my ego is not broken. I am willing to repeat the question. Let me complete the question, Sanju Verma.
शब्द नहीं बोल पाते हैं. संजू वर्मा को सारा ब्रह्मांड का ज्ञान देना है. Vivek Srivastava says that armed forces are bringing in drugs into this country.
You are not the lone nationalist to say that you are the only nationalist.
I am not quiet, Sanju Verma, for God's sake. Now, would you take the question or not? Can I? Okay.
Do that. Ask me a question.
Thank you, Sanju Verma. The question is, while the government itself, with its actions, has admitted that there were some lapses and they are plugging it, the fact of the matter is that the BJP has been in power both with the National Conference and the PDP. There is an element of politics involved in what Farooq Abdullah is saying. You have to respond politically to it. What has your party done? Are you going to gherao the National Conference office tomorrow or not? Aren't you going to raise stink on the manner in which he has commented on the armed forces? Are you going to do that? Plus, your government is at the center. Your administration is there in Jammu and Kashmir. Why not book Farooq Abdullah? Book him tomorrow.
Come in now.
Yes.
Yes. I heard you, and now I don't want to be interrupted by anybody because I did not heckle when
Please answer.
I was giving that lengthy lecture. Thank you. Abhishek, first point, and this is what Amit Shah ji has said on the floor of the parliament a few days back. There is a 100% fall in stone pelting incidents in Jammu Kashmir.
Yes.
There is a 69% fall in terror attacks in Jammu Kashmir. There is a 80% fall in casualties of civilian force. There's a more than 47% fall in armed force casualties. Plus, I also want to say this to you. ये तो नरेंद्र मोदी की सरकार है कि हमने 2016 में सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक किया अगेंस्ट पाकिस्तान. ये तो नरेंद्र मोदी की सरकार है that in 2019 we revoked the most favored nation status to Pakistan. ये तो नरेंद्र मोदी की सरकार है that we avenged Pulwama with the Balakot strike of 2019. My question to Farooq Abdullah types is this. The Abdullahs, the Muftis and the Congress were in power for the longest time. How is it? I'm not a fan of Rashid the engineer. How is it that Omar Abdullah, for all his so-called eloquence and so-called patriotism, was defeated by a convict called Rashid engineer, and still Farooq Abdullah has not woken up and smelled the coffee? How is it that National Conference
Maybe he has smelled the coffee.
in the Panchayat polls in Jammu Kashmir in 2018? How is it that National Conference was wiped out in the DDC elections in Jammu Kashmir in 2020 and still they have not learnt lessons? I think Farooq Abdullah is raising the bogey of trying to malign our armed forces because he wants attention and he knows that he's losing the narrative in Jammu Kashmir, which today has had the highest voter turnout in 2024. We had more than a 58% voter turnout in Baramulla. We had more than a 72% voter turnout in Udhampur. We had more than a 67% voter turnout
in
Sanju. तो यहाँ बैठकर भाषण मत दो बीजेपी को.
Okay, fair enough. Now, Sushil Pandit, I've run out of time. Giving 30 seconds to you. Sanju says that Farooq Abdullah has to smell the coffee. Maybe he is smelling the coffee. He understands that his son has lost because there is certain sentiment on the ground, and he is catering to that, which is unfortunate. But do you think that's happening?
Abhishek, both Farooq Abdullah and Omar Abdullah or for that matter, muftis and loans and Bukharis and Azads are part of the problem, not part of the solution. If they pander to separatist tendencies and interests in Kashmir Valley in order to become politically relevant, they are not to be touched with the barge pole. They are the problem. And I will not be surprised if BJP, in the name of expedience, would again collaborate with them for political convenience in future. That is the problem. That is the challenge. And we have to brace up for it.
Fair enough.
Today they can keep screaming fire and brimstone against the Abdullahs and Muftis and rest of the cabal. But come elections, the arithmetic of poll results will be a very convenient excuse to collaborate with them all over again.
Right.
And that will harm the country much more than these idiotic statements that come out of Farooq Abdullah. And
Okay, quickly 10 seconds. Quickly 10 seconds, Ahmad Ayaz, I'm wrapping up. Quickly 10 seconds.
With all that what Sushil Pandit said, though I don't agree partly with him that everybody is a part of the problem, but let me tell him that possibilities cannot be ruled out that BJP can have a government with any of these parties tomorrow, at least with National Conference.
Of course.
I don't see the possibility that getting them together.
Okay, irrespective of what politics plays out, what Farooq Abdullah has said today is unfortunately crossing a red line, and I believe if the BJP is serious, they should set an example. They should do something so that Farooq Abdullah realizes that they're going to be costs if you take on the armed forces in the manner that it could have demoralizing consequences. On that note, thank you so much, Ahmad Ayaz and Vivek Srivastav. Sanju stays with me for the next conversation that we are having. Of course, thank you, Sushil Pandit. Remember what happened in the morning, friends. In a tragic reminder of past incidents, a 13-year-old boy lost his life after accidentally coming into contact with an electric pole while wading through a flooded Patil Nagar. This incident has put the spotlight back on Delhi's apathy and misgovernance, because this is not the first case. Remember, an aspiring civil servant suffered a similar fate in June. Fatal threats are lurking in the waterlogged streets posed by criminal civic apathy in AAP-ruled Delhi. Or is it just AAP-ruled? Take a look at this report, then I come back for a conversation.
In a shocking civic apathy that's coming to the fore in the national capital, a 13-year-old boy was electrocuted to death in the outer Delhi's Ranhola area on Sunday. The 13-year-old was playing cricket in an open field when he accidentally touched an electric pole supplying power to a nearby cattle shed in the Kotla Vihar Phase 2 area of Delhi. A PCR team arrived at the scene after receiving a word of the incident and rushed the 13-year-old to the nearby DDU hospital. However, the boy was declared brought dead on arrival at the hospital. The incident revived memories of aspiring civil servant who was electrocuted to death as he tried to hold an iron gate for support while trying to navigate a waterlogged street near the Patil Nagar metro station. A live cable from a damaged submersible water pump had come in contact with the gate, turning it into a death trap. Soon after the apathy came to light, the government initiated bulldozer action against the Gaushala over allegations of electricity theft.
A bulldozer action has been undertaken now at the Gaushala where the wire was passing through the wire which was illegally pulled out from the cricket zone, and as you can see behind me, the JCB is there and this area has now been bulldozed. What we are getting to know that the owner of this place, Mr. Satpal, he had in fact taken this action And we are also getting to know that this Goshala was initially sealed, but no legal action was taken against the owner of the Goshala. And despite several complaints, when the residents had complained about the theft of electricity as well as how the condition of the cows were here, there was no action taken by the administration or the police. Now what we are seeing is the bulldozer action that is being done. The entire Goshala has now been razed, and this after the 13-year-old boy was electrocuted, and he was killed because of the electrocution of that happened yesterday. We'll also go ahead and speak to a few people here. You can see currently this is the scenario. One police constable is present here as the entire bulldozer action has taken place.
As yet another life falls prey to the shocking civic negligence, the big question is, when will the ruling Aam Aadmi Party wake up?
All right, continuing from the earlier conversation, Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP. We also have Abhishek Sudhir, political analyst, leans towards the right. And it's versus Kapil Madan, political analyst, leans towards the Congress party. And Akash Deep Muni, political analyst, here to defend the Aam Aadmi Party. And I would want to speak from my heart. When I was deciding for this debate topics in the afternoon, what to pick up, I could have taken 1 hour on Farooq Abdullah, and it would have been a hot debate. And you saw a glimpse of that earlier, friends. And I was also thinking that maybe we could discuss the Hindu protests in Bangladesh and elsewhere to make sure that the interim government in Dhaka takes care of the Hindu minority there, the kind of violence that has panned out. But then I thought, let me focus on this very important story, very, very important story. This 13-year-old boy lost his life. He was playing cricket. He saw a ball going in a corner. He went there at that corner of the field, and he got electrocuted. We had about a fortnight or a month back another instance of an IAS aspirant in Delhi's Patel Nagar getting electrocuted similarly. And I was going through statistics. The reason why I picked up this conversation is that in the last 1 year, there have been 50 instances of electrocutions in which 26 individuals have lost life in national capital. Now, that gives you an idea of the kind of civic mess we are in. And also include the Rajendra Nagar deaths of another 3 civil services aspirants when the basement there got flooded. So where to start the conversation? My simple question is, this is India's national capital. Who's in charge? Who would want to pick up from this panel? And please speak with your heart in it, because these kind of, extinguishing of lives, it does not look good for the country. Sanju, you want to pick it up? Please do.
Thank you. Thank you, Abhishek. Yes, the last debate was a rather feisty one, but no hard feelings. I want to say this, Abhishek, and I've said this on umpteen occasions. I'm speaking here not just as the national spokesperson of BJP, I'm wearing 2 hats. I'm also speaking as a bona fide and a thinking and empowered citizen at that. And let me make a few quick points. Point number 1, whether there's a tragedy by way of electrocution or people drowning or civic apathy on the part of bureaucrats or the government in question, that needs to be condemned irrespective of the political affiliation that you may or may not have. Having said that, I think it's time to address the elephant in the room. It's time to take the bull by the horns. And let me say this, be it the GMCTD Act of 1991, the Delhi Administration Act of 1966, the NCT Act of 1993, if you read all these 3 in conjunction, they clearly tell you one thing. And this has been reinforced in various Supreme Court judgments, which I'm sure Abhishek Sudhir can elaborate upon. Be it land, police, or law and order. These are 3 domains that come under the prerogative of the central government /LG/Union Home Ministry. But when it comes to the Delhi Jal Board, when it comes to Public Works Department, when it comes to health, when it comes to sanitation, when it comes to flood management, all these fall under the aegis of Arvind Kejriwal and his ministers. There is no way Arvind Kejriwal can cite confusion and deflect and digress from the issue at hand. My simple point is this. On the one hand, you say, अरे भाई दिल्ली जल बोर्ड ने तो अभी बहुत पैसा बनाया है। अरे दिल्ली का बजट आउटले तो 76,000 करोड़ है, जिसमें से 61,000 करोड़ इज फॉर विमेन सेफ्टी, चाइल्ड डेवलपमेंट, हेल्थ, सैनिटेशन, एजुकेशन, फ्लड मैनेजमेंट, ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला। If 61,000 crores out of 76,000 crores is for irrigation, PWD works, health, sanitation, pray tell me, how are people in India's national capital dying because they are getting drowned in basements which were given NOC by the current incompetent Kejriwal dispensation? How are people dying because they've been electrocuted thanks to civic apathy?
Yeah.
Atishi, Saurabh Bhardwaj, who between them manage more than 24 ministries, since Arvind Kejriwal continues to run the show from within the confines of Tihar jail,
Okay.
flouting section 585 of the Tihar jail book.
Okay.
My simple question is, why is it that accountability is a word that is alien to Arvind Kejriwal? Do
Okay.
not deflect this to the LG. And by the way, assuming hypothetically, Abhishek, that the LG is responsible, is Kejriwal not supposed to work together with the LG? Arvind Kejriwal has a problem with the current LG VK Saxena. Arvind Kejriwal had a problem with the past LG Anil Baijal. Arvind Kejriwal had a problem with the past LG Najib Jung. When Sushma Swaraj was the chief minister, LG Congress के थे, कोई दिक्कत नहीं थी.
Okay.
When Sahib Singh Verma was the chief minister from BJP, LG Congress के थे, कोई दिक्कत नहीं थी. When Madan Lal Khurana was the chief minister of
Sanju.
from Bihar, LG Congress के थे, कोई दिक्कत नहीं थी. Does Kejriwal understand the meaning of the word teamwork?
Sanju.
I think no.
Okay.
The answer is no.
Okay. Oh, okay, you got your long opening, but you see, in the larger question about who's responsible for Delhi, Akashdeep Muni, there is also this question, who's really in charge of the GNCTD, which is the government of the National Capital Territory of Delhi? Is Arvind Kejriwal still running the government? If yes, how effectively? And if no, then who's really in charge? Whom should we ask Akashdeep Muni in cases like this? Because, for example, I was looking at this report, the National Human Rights Commission wanted to understand, was disturbed like I am disturbed, like you are disturbed today. They had to issue notice, but they did not know whom to issue notice for these deaths that are happening in Delhi because of flooding, for example. So they issued notices to the GNCTD. They issued notices to the Delhi Police Commissioner. They issued notices to the Delhi Development Authority Vice Chairman, which is obviously under the control of the Lieutenant Governor, DDA. So which means even a body like NHRC, Akashdeep Muni, does not know who's running Delhi. What about the common man, common woman? Where to seek redressal?
See Abhishek, today we have people here sitting and just playing politics over apathy. They're shedding crocodile tears.
So you don't do that.
They're doing politics. Now listen to me. You have not interrupted her. Let me also not be interrupted. They are shedding crocodile tears and they're doing politics. And the political analysts are also doing politics. I'll tell you, I'll prove you. Rahul Agarwal, who takes care of Asha Kiran shelter home. 14 people died in 1 month. What action did LG take? Did he?
Asha Kiran is run by Kejriwal. Asha Kiran is not run by the LG.
Politicians
don't lie on national TV. Asha Kiran is run by the social welfare department of
Okay, Sanju, I have to stop you.
Now you
I will counter.
BJP led.
Sanju, I will counter him.
Do a debate, BJP led debate.
Who came on national television
Okay,
and
now
supported Bibha
I'll again tell you again one
Okay, Sanju, I will counter him. Sanju, I will counter him. Please let me do that. Sanju.
Now listen to me. Now
Sanju.
Now listen to me. One boy fell down in an open manhole run by Delhi Development Authority.
No. I have to correct you, Akashdeep Muni.
You were shamelessly defending Bibha.
Let's not jump. This was not the purpose. So sorry. No, I have to stop both of you. Sanju, please pull back. Akashdeep Muni, please pull back. Let me retrieve the conversation. This was not the purpose. No. Sanju, pull back. Akashdeep Muni, pull back. I am asking both of you to pull back. This was not the purpose of this conversation. I began on a very very serious note. You are insulting. No. Okay, pull back. You are insulting you are insulting the sentiments of those families who have people.
You are not able to answer this.
I'm so sorry. I am really unhappy that this is happening. Akashdeep Muni, please pull back for God's sake. Sanju, please. Sanju, no, this is no. Okay, listen. You see, let's not insult the sentiments. Akashdeep, for God's sake, I asked. Sanju has pulled back. You have to stop now. Okay.
I say condemn Vibhav Kumar.
No, I'm not going to Vibhav Kumar. Akashdeep Muni, we are not talking about the shelter home, please.
Arvind Kejriwal, why is he running sarkar from Tihar jail? हिम्मत है तिहाड़ जेल के अंदर से सरकार क्यों चलाई जा रही है, इसका जवाब दो. केजरीवाल ने तो कहा था हम तो जी नई तरीके से राजनीति करेंगे. ये आपका कौन सा नया तरीका?
This is so unfair.
Please tell me why Kejriwal.
Sanju, 4 minutes left. I have to get in. I have to get in Kapil. I have to get in Abhishek. Sudhir, please pull back. Akashdeep Muni, no, I'm not allowing this. Akashdeep Muni, Sanju has stopped. You have to stop now. Okay, stop. Sanju has stopped. Akashdeep Muni, you have to stop now. Please don't insult the sentiments of those people who have lost their loved ones to this civic apathy, and that is what we are discussing tonight. We are not discussing Vibhav Kumar. We are not discussing the shelter home case.
You can lower my voice. You can lower my voice, but I am waiting for the day when Republic hears the other side. आम आदमी पार्टी voice कब सुनोगे? भाई कब सुनोगे? उन्होंने क्या बोला? मैंने नहीं बोला. मुझे तो
Akashdeep, this is unfair hijacking of a conversation, a serious conversation I was attempting.
For you to condemn Satyendra Jain.
Sanju, I'm not discussing Satyendra Jain, for God's sake.
I'm waiting for you to condemn incompetent Saurabh Bhardwaj. हर चीज में LG के ऊपर टीकरा मत फोड़िए.
Okay, fair enough.
Chief Minister is Arvind Kejriwal.
Sanju, I am left with just 2 minutes, please. Okay, Akashdeep Muni, it's really unfair. You know, viewers are not fools. You know, they understand. Maybe. What is happening in Delhi? This question has a lot of meaning. That when I ask, who's really responsible? You know, it's such a maze. I gave you an example that even the NHRC does not know who's running Delhi, and that's why they're shooting off notices to whosoever they think perhaps could respond and, take responsibility. The problem is, Abhishek, Sudhir, Kapil, Madan, quick words to you each, because unfortunately I am running out of time in 2 minutes. Who's responsible in Delhi? Abhishek first and then Kapil, Madan.
Well, Abhishek, I just want to speak honestly. I want to speak from the heart. I think Sanju will not mind my saying this. Today we find ourselves on the same side, but both of us have been on opposing sides, and we both once have been associated with the Aam Aadmi Party in the past. I cannot speak to why Sanju was, but the reason I was I saw hope in Arvind Kejriwal. We all supported Arvind Kejriwal during India Against Corruption. We hoped that Arvind Kejriwal would change the face of Indian politics. We hoped that he would be the Nayak that we all have been waiting for decades and decades. Arvind Kejriwal, from being an anti-corruption crusader, has gone to become the face of corruption. I resigned from the Aam Aadmi Party more than a year ago. I've never spoken about it publicly. The reason I resigned from the Aam Aadmi Party was the Sheesh Mahal controversy. And I was inducted into the party by Mr. Sanjay Singh, no less. So it's not as though I just went and took membership in the party office. I was inducted by Sanjay Singh. Today I'm speaking publicly about it because Sheesh Mahal is not why I joined the Aam Aadmi Party. Several engineers have been suspended yesterday for invoking the urgency clause during COVID-19 to facilitate the construction of the Sheesh Mahal. Right? Arvind Kejriwal has to take responsibility. He has let India down. He has let all of us down.
Kapil
Madan.
Madan.
An opportunity to change the nature of Indian politics he didn't. And I just want to make a point, Abhishek. You contrast that with Narendra Modi. Whatever Narendra Modi might have said during the campaign trail, he was in Wayanad consoling a Muslim woman and her son.
No,
Mr.
Kapil
Modi
Madan.
He could have washed his hands off Wayanad. The same way Rahul Gandhi has washed his hands off the Hindus in Bangladesh. But Narendra Modi stepped up for the Muslims of Wayanad, even though they would never vote for him.
I'm not
That's
going
what
there.
a true leader does.
Okay, Abhishek, you made your point, but I'm not going there. Kapil Madan, you see, you are a resident of Delhi. Okay, Abhishek, you made a point. I'm just last word to Kapil. Last minute. I'm left with just 1 minute. Kapil, you are a resident of Delhi. You are a lawyer. You know how law works. And you know how Delhi works. In 2017, 50 properties were sealed in defense colony, DEFCOL as it is called. Educated, literate, rich, well-off, well-connected people live in DEFCOL, as I understand. And these properties were sealed for not following the urban planning bylaws. In the last 4 years, the electricity utility companies have issued 1.2 lakh notices, 1.2 lakh notices across Delhi for violation of their rules when it comes to electricity connections. So obviously something is broke. This bulldozer action, Kapil, that was done today, post facto, couldn't that illegal structure or Goshala or whatever it was been removed before that 13-year-old boy died?
Abhishek, I'll make 2 points here. One is that, if the accident has happened because of negligence of any particular private property owner, then you will need to go against that person because he is directly responsible. Because of his negligence, the accident happened. Now, there could be another situation also where the negligence has happened at the instance of the public officials. Now, in that situation, you need to book the public officials. Remember, in the Rajendra Nagar droning incident, there is a report filed by the concerned officers that the storm water drain was not working, and that's the primary reason because of which the water went into the basement. So in that situation, basement was also being used illegally, and also there was negligence at the on the part of the public officers.
Okay.
Now the point I'm trying to make here
refused
is
to clear a
that we as a
proposal
citizen
to
also
unclog those drains.
Abhishek, please hold on.
I've run out of time. Kapil, if you can conclude in 10 seconds. I've run out of time. Kapil, 10 seconds.
Saurabh Bharadwaj's fault. The buck
No, Abhishek, there's no time for that now. Couple, 10 seconds. 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Responsibility and accountability of the concerned officials. Why would you have, a law that gives the power to the LG to, transfer, suspend public officials in Delhi? Why would you?
No, I'm not going into that. I'm not going into that. Whosoever sent. No, sorry, I've run out of time. Thank you so much, Sanju Verma, Abhishek, Sudhir, Kapil, Madan, and Akashdeep Muni for joining us. I'm not going there. The only point on which I would end is, whosoever sent that bulldozer to that illegal Goshala should have sent that before that 13-year-old boy lost his life. We'll continue this conversation maybe whenever it is needed, and we'll keep searchlight on the authorities, irrespective of which political dispensation. Thank you so much, friends, for joining us. Short break. Live and Breaking is on the other side. Join at 8 p.m. tomorrow, Super Prime Time Max with Arnab Goswami.